You don't need an MFA. You don't need an MFA. Coming from someone who has one, you do not need one, I'm telling you. There are incredible, brilliant, very successful writers who sell out books and make award lists and get a lot of respect in the industry critically and from readers, and they don't even have a degree. It's not something you have to do. I don't want you to be like me and think that the only way to get through is to have the perfect credentials and to be as studied as possible so that people will give you a chance and take you seriously. And no one cares. Literally, I can tell you this with 100% certainty. No one gives a damn. Readers don't care. Publishers don't care. Agents don't care. Your peers don't even care. There are some workshops, some programs that are very esteemed that people, have a lot of respect around them, so people will acknowledge, like, wow, that's really awesome. You must be a very talented writer to have gotten into this program. So it might get more eyes on your work or more validity to, excuse me, I caught the bubonic plague, so anytime I start coughing, I'm gonna have to edit it out. But yeah, your education might give you some help in people being excited about people you've studied under or worked with, but it's not the magical path to connections. Just because you have 3 letters next to your name isn't going to make, whatever, Penguin Random House come charging up your door. Let me publish a book for you. No, that's not going to happen. You still need to write a good book. You still need to apply all the knowledge that you learned in that program. And it's not the only way to acquire knowledge, especially now. As we've seen, we're in the age of information. I want to share this information with you. Other people want to share this information with you. You don't have to put yourself through grueling years and years of academia in order to learn this information. And in fact, many people do it, they learn by doing. Right? You don't have to wait to write your dream novel. You don't have to wait to start practicing short stories. You can do the Ray Bradbury method, which is write a story every week and one of them is bound to be good by the end of the year. Anyway, you don't need an MFA, okay? I'm Belicia. I'm a horror author. I'm the author of Voracious, a dystopia novella, and many short stories, poems, creepy little tales. And I want to help you write. I want to bring people into this world because I love it so much. And because I know you do too. So many people want to express their stories and their creativity and they don't know how. And it's really upsetting that this is still sort of gate-kept and the only people who kind of have the secrets are like, if you're already in, or, and it's not fair, it's not acceptable. There's so many statistics about publishing that show us why we need more widespread, diverse individuals writing and publishing, and we need a better representation of the world around us in the stories that we read and write. The best way for you to get your story and your writing craft to a level it needs to be to achieve publication and to get your work in the world is through the aid of other brilliant minds. You got to get over the fear of showing your work to people. You got to get over the fear of asking stupid questions. It's okay to be a beginner and it's okay to be new. We believe the myth that writing is an isolative action in an isolated field, and it's absolutely not. Yes, we create in isolation. Yes, we draft in isolation, but everything else is wholly and entirely dependent on a reader, on an audience. You're creating a story for more than just the story and more than just yourself. And even if you tell yourself, oh, I'm just writing this for me, at some point, the story becomes separate from you and it's existing for the world. Again, even if you intend for no one to read it, its purpose is to exist and its purpose is to be something separate from you. You still have to come to all the conclusions and develop the skills and on your own, no matter what type of education basis you have. But you're going to be able to hit those realizations so much faster when you're in a room with brilliant people, and when you have guidance and someone sitting there actually watching you and seeing in real time what's going wrong, and is able to point, and they're able to point it out to you. That is something that will always remain with me in all the writing workshops that I've been in. There's been at least one person who I was in awe of their brilliance and of their talent, and just feeling like, oh, I should give up. This is all right. But that's a good thing. It sucks because you feel behind, but it's a good thing. You want that. You want to be the dumbest person in every room you're in. That's how you should feel. Like, these people amaze me. How can I learn from you? And again, you can learn from anyone. But the best thing about the writing community and about being around other creatives is that they challenge you to expand your thought process and how you deliver your work. MFA programs don't make great writers. They were great writers before they got into the MFA. That's why they got accepted. They were great writers because they decided to commit to improving their craft, to devoting themselves to being better. That's what makes them a great writer. It can be done in any way you want to do it. There are many paths to the same destination. There's many roads to take. You don't have to take the same road that someone else did. You don't have to have a certain amount of a long list of credentials to be taken seriously as an artist. I used to believe that for myself. I needed a lot of permission to feel like I could do my heart's dream and make something of myself for this. And I'm learning that you don't have to do that. You just have to have the courage to start. You just have to have the courage to make it happen. And there's a lot of writers out there who are brilliant, unbelievable, unspeakably talented, and who never get a book published, or who get zero recognition and win no awards, and there are no flowers for them, and all of the things that they have achieved that no one looks at. So there's really no magic formula. There's no magic shortcut. There's nothing that can guarantee anything. That's why I'm saying this, so that you don't get in that headspace of thinking like, oh, well, once I get my MFA, I'll have all these connections and I'll just magically make it. No. I know people who've had connections to very prestigious pathways, and they still got rejected and still got shot down on a basis that seems like crazy, but also is very real. There are many places that will reject you simply because the readers are just not feeling it that day, or they already have a project very similar to yours. So sorry, we already have one like this. And it doesn't matter how good and perfect and incredible your work is. Like, we're not going to take it. All you need to do is commit yourself to knowing that you can do this. You can seek the knowledge and education and put in the work towards improving yourself as a writer, and you can get there. You will get there. If you set this intention and you follow it through with this action, you will. You don't have to apply to a bunch of schools. You don't have to do any of that. You do still need to devote yourself to the craft and to the work, but you can do it in many number of ways. Chuck Palahniuk talked about his kitchen table MFA with, I'm going to mess up his name, Tom Spenebauer. Someone correct me on that. And look at how iconic and incredibly acclaimed his work is, and how far his craft has taken him. And that's another thing. If you're, especially horror, if you're on the outliers of the well-to-do white ivory society of academia, you're A, probably not going to get accepted, B, not going to be taken seriously, or C, you're going to have to change the way you write, or at least mute the way you write, or alter some of your greater ambitions, we'll put it that way, in order to learn craft in their setting, in their structure. So anything that you produce in these structures, you're probably, not that they will be useless, because nothing we make is ever useless, even if it doesn't see the light of day, and is necessary to propel our growth into where we're going. But all I'm trying to say is that if you know you want to learn how to write in a specific way that is very transgressive, that leans heavy horror, or anything, even heavy sci-fi, heavy fantasy, these are not typically welcome in academic settings, which is very sad, but it's just the way it is. It's not considered whatever it is. There's all the hate for genre work, right? Which is hilarious and pathetic, but that's for another topic. You just need yourself. You need to commit to learning whatever way you want. Again, if you choose to be completely self-taught, just know it'll take you longer, or you could choose to seek out other people who want to educate you in alternate ways, like being a Hellbat, like coming on and listening to all the wisdom I wish somebody would have shared with me. So you tell me what you need help with, tell me what I can guide you on, and I hope to be able to do that. That is what I would really love. Get to writing, let's learn together, let's write together, and let's see what we can do.